Hi again, everyone. Gary Digital Williams here on Boxing Along the Beltway. Our news and notes for this week, and a lot going on, as we always say. And it's going to be a relatively short podcast this week because we do have just three major topics to talk about today. Number one, the recap of last week's bout between Claressa Shields and our very own Tori Shonuff Nelson. We're going to recap that a little bit. Also, Franchon Cruz DeZern was on the undercard of that card. And then we'll preview the big one coming up this Saturday, on Saturday, January 20th, as Lamont Peterson takes on Errol Spence for Spence's IBF welterweight title. And we have a couple other beltweight boxers on that card as well. And then we're going to look at the ratings for the amateurs out of USA Boxing. And a number of our beltweight boxers are ranked among the best in the business in amateur boxing. So we'll talk more about that on this podcast as well. Beltway Boxing News and Notes brought to you by Real-Time Pain Relief. From boxers to ballerinas, for shoulder pain to muscle strain and everything in between, boxing along the Beltway. We recommend Real-Time Pain Relief, the fast, natural, safe, plant-based ointment. And if you go to freepainoffer.com, buy $10 worth of Real-Time Pain Relief, you get a free $10 tube of Real-Time Pain Relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. Last Saturday at the Turning Stone Casino in Verona, New York. Last Friday, January the 12th at the Turning Stone Casino and Resort in Verona, New York. Claressa Shields showed in this particular case that skill can overcome will. Tori Nelson certainly had the will. No question about that. Claressa Shields is awfully good. I mean, that's an understatement, but she's awfully good. And she showed good skill in that in the bout against Tori Nelson. However, Tori Nelson, there was no way in the world she was giving up. And she fought an outstanding bout in defeat. I mean, she was beaten by shutout across the board, 100-90. There was no doubt about that. I mean, that was a great score by the judges in that situation. Can't dispute the score. And I just think Tori Nelson just gave so much heart. Maybe we'll criticize Shields for not being able to knock somebody out twice her age. Well, Tori Nelson, as we know in the Beltway, and I think the country and the world found out this past Friday night, she's no ordinary boxing female. I mean, there's no question about that. I've had myself, Juan Marshall, we've had the pleasure of following Tori Nelson's career pretty much from the very beginning. Even when she was an amateur, we saw her. And I'll never forget the night Tori Nelson fought Shelly Sievert for the second time. The first time they went to a draw. And I remember PBS was doing a story on women's boxing, and they focused on Shelly Sievert on this card. They interviewed her. They followed her in the back. They talked to me about it, and I mentioned both ladies, of course, the two ladies they fought, both Nelson and Sievert. And it turned out Nelson won the fight, and Shelly Sievert never fought again after that. And Tori Nelson went on to a brilliant career that, again, I would be surprised, to be perfectly honest, as I said last week, I'd be surprised if Tori Nelson fought again. I don't know if she will. I don't think she has to anymore. She's proven her point. Her legacy in the Beltway anyway, if not in boxing, female boxing, is secure in my opinion. She lost to one of the best that may ever compete as a female boxer in this business. And if Claressa Shields reaches that point to where she becomes the best of all time, beating the likes of Christy Martin and Layla Ali and Lucia Riker, well, Tori Nelson can be thanked for that, because I think Tori Nelson, as admirable as her performance was, made Claressa Shields elevate her game. She made Shields go the distance for the first time, 10 rounds for the very first time in her career. I mean, she's only had 5 bouts, but still, she went from 6 rounds to 10 rounds. No, I did it back. That's wrong. Because last bout against Nikki Alice, she did go 10 rounds. I apologize for that. That's wrong. But I think she looked better in this bout against Nelson than she did against Nikki Adler, in all honesty. She made her elevate her game. And again, if Claressa Shields becomes one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time as far as female boxing is concerned, Tori Nelson can take some credit for that because she helped make her that way. So if it is the end for Tori Nelson, again, she's had a fabulous career. As we said, 2-time Beltway Boxer of the Year in back-to-back years, 10 world championships, giving this area some incredible moments. Again, I will always cherish the day I had a chance to not only be the ring announcer for the bout between Nelson and Mia St. John, but also to host the press conference a couple of days beforehand. It was one of the highlights. It's been one of the highlights of my career. And I have Tori Nelson in large part to thank for that. And so if it is her career, it is the end of her career, I thank her for some outstanding moments in her career. Meanwhile, on the other side, on the undercard, Franchon Cruz-Dezurn still beginning her career as a pro. And she had a tough one. 6-round bout against Tiffany Woodard out of Wilson, North Carolina. That was not tough in the sense maybe of scoring wise, because I think Franchon Cruz-Dezurn, from the highlights I saw, did more than enough to win the bout. But she had to go a little bit rough with Tiffany Woodard. I mean, they fell on the floor a couple of times, and it was a rough bout. But Franchon Cruz-Dezurn was able to end up with the victory. She's 3-1, one-take KO now, and good things on the horizon for her. And maybe a rematch with Clarissa Shields may not be in the card, may not be in the enough for the offering in that situation. What I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that she is possibility. There could be a rematch between her and Shields. If I'm Shields, I don't take that, in all honesty. But who knows? I mean, with so little competition in that super middleweight division, and again, if Shields decides to go down to middleweight and face the Christina Hammer or Cecilia Breakhouse, may not be a rematch for Franchon Cruz-Dezurn in that situation. So we'll see. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But good night overall. I mean, both Franchon Cruz-Dezurn, Tori Nelson deserve to be commended for outstanding bouts on Friday night in Verona, New York. Now let's turn our attention to Saturday, January the 20th, this coming Saturday, when Lamont Peterson goes after his 4th world title. He'll take on Errol the Truth Spence out of DeSoto, Texas. Spence 22-0, 19 KOs. Lamont Peterson 35-3-1, 17 KOs. The bout will be at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Now, for me, this bout can go either way. I did not get a chance to attend the media day that they had for Lamont Peterson last week. Just from the video and the photos that Juan Marshall took and some of the other photos I've seen, Lamont Peterson physically looks awesome at 147. And that may be a difference. He did not have to drain himself to make 140. And he looks just incredible at 147, near 147. And if he can keep that through the rest of this week, which he should, because this is the final week before the bout, this could be an outstanding bout. I really believe that Lamont Peterson will be strong at 147. I think he'll get off to a better start against Errol Spence this time around. And this one can go either way. Spence is an incredible athlete, an incredible boxer. Again, he put out an outstanding performance against Kell Brook in winning the title. I think he'll have to do as much against Peterson, if not a little bit more against Lamont Peterson, to win this bout coming up Saturday. But it's going to be an outstanding bout. Right now, on paper, it's an early candidate for bout of the year. I'd be shocked if either one takes complete control of the bout and wins unanimous decision. I think it's going to be a split decision or majority decision, and it can go either way. It's going to be a fantastic bout coming up on Saturday. And again, folks are there for coming up a great bus trip that's going up there to New York as well. So a lot of fans will be there for Lamont Peterson. There'll be some fans there for Errol Spence as well. But it's going to be an outstanding card. No question about that. Saturday, that's January 20th at the Barclays Center. Now, a couple other Beltway boxers are on this card as well. and that should be interesting as well. Anthony Peterson, Lamont's brother, will be on the card, fighting for the first time since April of 2016. April 1st, 2016, he fought that bout against Samuel Nikwe at the D.C. Armory and won a 10-round unanimous decision there. But Anthony Peterson will be another 10-rounder. He'll take on Luis Eduardo Flores, and he is out of Puerto Libertad in Colombia. Anthony Peterson, 37-1, 24 KOs, while Flores is 23-8 with 19 KOs. And Flores is coming off a knockout loss to Brian Rico. That was on December 15th in Montera, Colombia. So looks for Anthony Peterson to try to get back on track, and hopefully he can be a little bit busier in his career. Again, hasn't fought since April of 2016, but he's always in the gym, so that could be a good thing for Anthony Peterson. Meanwhile, Keyshawn Williams will return. He made his pro debut back in November of last year, won a second-round knockout over Christian Sales in Flint, Michigan. He's 1-0, 1 KO, as is his opponent, Dennis Okoth of Siaya, Kenya. He's 1-0, 1 KO. He made his pro debut in Nairobi, Kenya, scored a 6th-round TKO in that bout, and he'll come to the United States for the very first time. So that's the bout coming up. Next week, we'll look more at February's schedule. A lot of things going on there. Big bouts coming up in February for a number of our Beltway boxers there. Now, let's go to the amateurs, because the amateurs, USA Boxing puts out rankings for the amateurs periodically. I think it's on a quarterly basis. And a number of our boxers, Beltway boxers, made the amateur rankings in the quarterly statements. 132 pounds, Keyshawn Davis out of Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia. He is number 1 at 132 pounds. Of course, Keyshawn Davis had a big year in 2017. Not only did he win a National Golden Glove Championship, the first time for a Virginia boxer, maybe in history, in the Beltway, and our first Beltway boxer to win a National Golden Glove since 2014. He also won a USA Boxing National Championships last year, and he's ranked at number 1 at 132 pounds. At 165 pounds in the elite men's division, along with Keyshawn Davis, 132 pounds, Troy Isley also won a USA National Championship, and he is ranked number 1 at 165 pounds. Again, he's one of the best boxers we have in our area as well. So among the elite men, they are two of the best elite boxers in the country today. On the female side, Amelia Moore, and boy, what a year it was. 2017 was a fantastic year for Amelia Moore. She won 4 major national championships. She won Women's National Golden Gloves, a National PAL, Ringside Championship, and a USA Boxing Championship, all in 2017. And she is ranked number 1 in the country at 141 pounds. She's also out of the same gym now as Keyshawn Davis and Troy Isley, the Alexandria Boxing Club. So I tell you, they're doing outstanding work over there. Take a look at the youth men. We have Malik Warren, ranked number 2 in the country at 132 pounds, and his number 1 opponent, Holly Medeiros, who he's lost to twice now. He lost to him at the USA Boxing National Championship. Malik Warren out of Catonsville, Maryland, is ranked number 2 in the country at 132 pounds. Now, out of Baltimore, of course, Reisterstown, Maryland, actually, at 165 pounds, number 1 ranked in the youth men is indeed Lorenzo Truck Simpson. He has just had a great year as well. And again, one of the great boxers come out of this area in the amateur ranks. At 178 pounds, Nasheed Smith out of Washington, D.C. is ranked number 2 in the country at 178 pounds. And Dante White out of Baltimore, Maryland, I believe he's out of the same gym as Lorenzo Simpson. He is ranked number 4 in the country at 201 plus pounds in the youth men division. Now, on the junior men's side, Jamal Harvey is actually ranked twice, believe it or not. He is ranked number 8 in the country at 90 pounds. He's out of Maryland. But at 106 pounds, Jamal Harvey, I believe he's out of Forestville, Maryland. He's ranked number 2 in the country at 106 pounds. So he's done great work in the junior men's division. At 114 pounds, Derek Davis is ranked 8th in the country in a group of four boxers ranked number 8 in the country at 114 pounds. At 119 pounds, Jaleel Hackett is tied for fourth ranking in 119 pounds. And then at 132 pounds, Stacy Selby, who's actually fighting out of Baltimore now. He's originally from Washington, D.C., but he is fighting out of Baltimore, Maryland now. And he's ranked number 1 in the country at 132 pounds. And so some great junior boxers in the country. And again, our amateur program back on track. I actually never really went off track. Again, Keyshawn Davis winning the National Golden Gloves, did a lot for our junior program in 2017, and that elevated a lot of things, and everything else is coming right behind it. And of course, the Golden Gloves begin in February, and it's going to be outstanding. I assume we'll be back at Rosecroft Raceway once again for the Washington Golden Gloves, and we'll be covering that throughout the month of February. And again, that's the big thing right now coming up in the month of February. Not a whole lot else going on in February as we know as right now. So the big event is indeed the Washington Golden Gloves that'll begin in February. We'll get the dates for you in the next couple of weeks. We'll hopefully get a couple of bout sheets in the next few weeks coming up for the Washington Golden Gloves coming up. So some big things, of course, coming out in the outside the Beltway. We'll talk more about that a little bit later on. Of course, January 26th, the only card in-house will be the amateur card at Michaels 8th Avenue, Glen Burnie, Maryland. That'll be on Friday, January 26th, coming up. So that should be a great bout as well. That starts at 8:30 on Friday, January 26th. So hopefully you can be there for that one. That'll do it for Beltway Boxing News and Notes. Remember, Beltway Boxing News and Notes, once again, brought to you by Real Time Pain Relief. Rub it on. The pain is gone in real time. I'm Gary Digital Williams. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Always remember to keep supporting the best boxing in the world. The boxing along the Beltway. Thanks for listening. Take care.